Hello and welcome to Make All the Things with Me, the YouTube edition. Hello, come on in and say hi. We are stamping tonight. Yay! So excited. All right, just wait for a few of you to come on. And let's see if I can find myself and learn how to use YouTube. I'm learning. I'm learning. Let's see. Oh, I can give myself a thumbs up. All right. Live chat has moved, it says. And here we go. Funky Junk Inspiration. Hello, Christy. How are you? How are you? Okay, I lost how to see the chats, but I usually watch YouTube on the device that I'm going live on. Oh, here we go. Oh, all right, there we go. Okay, yay. All right, I'm all set to go. I think that Shauna was still going. Oh my goodness. I just love being in this group with paper crafters. I do a little bit of everything, hence the name Make All the Things with Me. But my passion and my favorite is paper crafting, and it's been on the back burner for a while. And I'm just excited. So Christy asked me what I thought, come up with a theme, and I was like, let's use stamps. I'm like, so I'm going to do a little bit different. I've been stamping for a long, long time. I started as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator back in, oh goodness, maybe 2002. My daughter was about 2 years old. Hey, Levon. That's okay. That's okay. You're not late. You don't have me on the big screen, do you? I don't know. It makes me so nervous. Hey, there you are, Shauna. Oh my goodness. I just love, love, love watching you. I'm going to do a little bit of embossing myself tonight. I'm just going to do a little tiny bit of everything. And I was saying that I love paper crafts. And it's been on the back burner because I've been making other kinds of crafts. And my friend's having a birthday this weekend, so I'm going to make her a card. So I'm gonna get started, and then we'll catch everybody up as they come. I'm gonna grab a quick sip of coffee. Coffee cooled down enough for me to drink in this hot weather. Alrighty. So let's talk about stamps, right? Like I said, I've been stamping since 2002. I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Okay, a friend said that on a 42-inch it made me a little nervous too. Yeah, she showed me a screenshot. She was watching the replay of me on YouTube, and she was like, oh, I can get you from my TV. And she had Levon, how big is your TV? Huge. I was like, no. I'm like, not me in HD. You could see everything, right? So a friend had invited me to a Stampin' Up! Party. And, back in the day, we did home parties. And it was fun. That's how we networked. That was our social media, right? We would get together. Everybody, had different parties. We would go to each other's parties. Well, I absolutely fell in love. I hadn't been really creative in a long time. I had little ones that I was taking care of. Oh, yes, absolutely, Christy. They are a total inspiration. This group is amazing. I am just so in awe that I come between Shauna and Christy. And I'm like, how did I end up here between these two? But I am so grateful. And you, oh my gosh, your project was so cool. I really need to try that. What is that called? That burning gel, that flaming gel. Um, that is so cool. I really need to try it. So like I was saying, I had little ones, and that's where all my attention went. Little ones, work, house, all that stuff, right? And mine were really little. And my son had just started kindergarten, and I was meeting new people, making friends with the mom. So I went to this Stampin' Up! Party. I had no idea what it was. I was just going just to be with friends because I hadn't really oh, yeah, Shauna, thank you. You're kind, too kind. Um, uh, I don't know. Yeah, I just wanted to, just network and be with friends and just, get out because I was lonely too. I was with the kids and I was just working. So I went to this party and I absolutely fell in love. It was around Valentine's Day, and the demonstrator demonstrated all these really cute, like little projects, like a Valentine's card, a little treat bag, how to design your own thing, so many. I just so I made a purchase, and then I bought the kit and I became a demonstrator, and I just loved it. And I was a demonstrator for a few years. I had a team, I did parties, and then the kids got bigger and everybody got busier. Did it for myself for a while, and then I kind of gave it up. And but I always purchased, and then later on, I needed more stock, so I just I bought the kit to build up my stock again. I didn't really sell. I did it as a hobby demonstrator for myself. And I kept the minimums up for a little bit, and then it was like, okay, enough. And then I got into these kinds of crafts. So let's talk about the different kinds of stamps. So when I started, the stamps were, you know what? Let's switch the view. Oh, here we go. You'll see me in the top left corner. You will see my work right here. So when I started, this is the stamps. They were rubber stamps on wood blocks, right? And it made stamping challenging, right? This is how we stamped back in the day. You kind of guessed, especially when you had to so this one, you could put, if this is called Loads of Love, and this set usually has a year on it. This one's from 2004. So it has little hearts, or it has little flowers you could put on the back of the truck. So you really had to guess. Hey, Marie. Hey, Ray. I'm showing off my stamps, the different kinds of stamps. I figured I'm not a pro, I'm not a professional, but I've been doing it for a while. So I figured, let's talk about the different kinds of stamps. So these are wood mountain rubber stamps. There's a little cushion in here. When you stamp with this, you don't really need a cushion underneath, and like I said, if the stamps went together and you were building a scene, like here's a little Christmas tree. So, what I did was I stamped on a little Post-it note, right? So to mask it, and that's what I would do. You'd stamp the image, you mask it, and then you get the other one and hope you got it in the right place. I think I'm going to keep this one out because I might be using this tonight. I don't know, right? And it came in these cute little plastic packages. But the problem with these is, right, storage. You need a whole closet. My head is cut off. How's that? Is that better? Let's see if I can bend me down a little bit. Is that better? Oh, and then there's a glare on the stamps there. Okay. But yeah, so the storage becomes, wait, your head is cut off. The truck is so much fun. Do you have it? Tell me, do you have Loads of Love? I love it because especially farmhouse, I use trucks all the time, right? Hey, Michelle, how are you? How you been? Please, my friends that are on here, they have YouTube channels as well. We're part of a collaboration. give them a follow. Their pages are in my description. I have their Facebook pages and their YouTube channels. So like I was saying, storage becomes a problem, right? Okay. Then people started unmounting their stamps, right? So you know there's a technique to use to unmount it, to take it off the block, and then everyone sold. Hey Christy, how are you? Everyone sold or used CD packages to condense a little bit, which that was like a step to the next level generation of stamps. So now we have, oh, and there is a stamp positioner that you could use with those wood blocks, but it's a lot of work. So now we have, this is Stampin' Up. It's a couple years old, this stamp set. Look at, it's like a CD or a DVD case, right? Makes storage so much easier. And now they're like this, right? But you need something to mount them, to use them with. And, so you use it with an acrylic block, right? Which is nice. You can kind of see through it, but not exactly. And these are pre-cut. These come pre-cut, right? Or you can use a stamp positioner. Somebody invented, where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, this is my favorite tool of all. So this is called a MISTI. For those of you who've watched me stamp before, know I use this all the time. MISTI stands for Most Incredible Stamping Tool Invented. I think it was by Sweet Petunia invented it. Hero Arts made this one for MISTI. I guess it's a collaboration. You could still get the originals, I think, by Sweet Petunia. They think they come in pink. This one is black for Hero Arts. And what you do here is you grab here's one. So you grab your paper, right? And it comes with a magnet. It's magnetized, and this is to hold your paper. And then you put your stamp where you want it to go, the image side down. You close, right? Ink it up, stamp. Let's just say you didn't get a good image, and I will show you these in a few minutes. You can re-ink it and stamp it again in the same spot. No worries, no fear. Super, super simple, right? Then, but isn't this cute? Oh my gosh, I want to use all of them, right? So then they came out with photopolymer stamps. Okay, so those of you that know me, these are Dollar Tree. They call them clear stamps. I'm not really sure what they're made of. I think I'm going to say they're photopolymer. There's different qualities. You have the Tim Holtz platform. Yeah, there's a whole big story about the Tim Holtz platform. Hold on to it. It'll probably be worth something, because there was a thing with Tim Holtz and the MISTI for copyright infringement rights. So hold on to it. Stampin' Up carries a Stamparatus, which is the same premise, but you can stamp like that. So I purchased all these Dollar Tree stamps, and believe it or not, they actually stamp really, really well. Like, look how cute these images are. I haven't used them all yet. I'm collecting them right now. Hey, Laurel, hello. It's actually Laurel's birthday on Saturday, so let's all wish her a happy birthday. Laurel, I'm going to try to make you a card. And of course, I got the letters, right? And for $1.25, you cannot beat it. They are hard to find, but they do stamp well. This is a Hero Art stamp set. You can get these at Joann's. You can get them online. Let's see. do it this way, right? That's just a cute little greetings set. I think I got this on sale at Joann's. And then okay. And then there are kits. You can get kits anywhere. Simon Says Stamps, one of my favorite places, is different from the Misty. Yeah, I know it's different from the Misty. It's an old one. You've had it for a while, right? There was a big thing about it because I remember I wanted it. It's a little bit big. Well, the Misty comes in all different sizes. You can go watch some of the other channels for that. But a lot of companies now sell kits. So I bought this one around Valentine's Day. And if you're new to stamping, I really suggest that you go buy yourself a kit. It comes with everything you need to stamp with, I think, except, I mean, sometimes they have the ink, right? But look at how sweet. They give you cardstock. They give you the stamp set, right? And this was their card kit of the month for February. You know, envelope, paper, designer paper. I mean, everything you need. This is actually, I think this is the one I wanted to use tonight. And then you can use stamps as background. You know, let's just say you don't have any designer paper or scrapbook paper, right? Can you imagine such a thing? Save yourself money. You can make your own. You can make your own. And then Gina K is another one of my favorites. This one was from a couple years ago. It's a Christmas stamp set. She gives you dies, inspiration ideas. Here we go. A few stamp sets. Here's stencils for paper. I haven't used stencils for bigger projects. Oh, did they stop selling the Stamparatus? I didn't know that. It's probably a copyright thing. See, and it comes with dies, you know, and then, you know, you spend a certain amount of money, you get a free stamp set, right? And she gives you paper. Great value. So if you want to get into stamping, I suggest getting one of these kits. And then, let's say you didn't have one of these stamping platforms, you can use your acrylic block. But because there is no cushion, I don't know what I did with it. Because I am going to make a huge mess. Okay, there is no cushion. You really want to stamp on a foam. Close to my cart. Our kits are fun too. Yeah, a lot of the companies are selling them. You can actually send me the link to your daughter's website. I used to love Close to My Heart as well. And so because these, you know, it's just this photopolymer, right? You want something soft to absorb the inking. Because when you do it on a hard surface, you'll struggle with a good impression. Make sense? I know I'm moving fast, and I have an hour. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this one. So Laurel, you are my sweet, sweet friend, one of my oldest friends, my dearest friends. And this says, you are so sweet, but I don't need this because I am going to use my Misty because I like easy. And then there's different kinds of inks, right? Inks matter. And paper matters too. So I know a lot of companies carry paper. There's all kinds of good quality paper. I have found I like Nina Classic Crest Solar White. Let's see if you can see that. You can get this on Amazon. I buy it by the ream. It blends beautifully when you're doing blending with inks and things like that. And if you watched Shauna, she did a whole bunch of embossing. I was going to show, if I have time, I was going to do a little embossing. So a standard A2 size card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. A sheet of regular cardstock is 8 1/2 by 11. So I usually just like cut in half. It is awesome. It's my favorite. It just blends so beautifully. So half of 8.5 is 4 1/4. I'm going to cut it this way, and then I'll trim it down as I need it. And then half of 11 is 5.5. So this is the front of the card. So usually I just make it like this, and then I trim it down later on. I'll need this again. I'll just put it over here. Let's take this out. Now there was something really fun I wanted to show you. The other day I went looking for tiles. You can stamp on anything. They make big stamps that you can use on your walls or your decorations or your scrapbooks. This is it's a tile. It's a very porous surface. It's a stone. I've had this for years. I have a whole bunch of them, but I couldn't find them. Shelby says hi. She's watching but can't comment. Okay, she needs an account. That's why. I like to use VersaFine Clear ink. I have so many black inks. This is my favorite. I get a really good image every single time. And the plus side is you can watercolor with it. You can watercolor with it. You can use alcohol markers. You can use pencils. It's a very versatile, you thought that was a piece of toast? Which one was a piece of toast? Oh, this. Yeah, piece of toast. So with something like this, you'd want to use StazOn ink. We should probably do a segment on ink sometime, you know, because people, the stampers know, right? But there's a lot of ink out there, and what to use. This is permanent and it works on any and every surface. I made these into coasters because I put some felt on here. I have ones that are 20 years old and the image is still beautiful. And of course I couldn't find them. But all right, let's stamp something here. Let's stamp something. What should we make for Laurel? A donut? Can we make her a donut? Oh, and yeah, let's do 2 donuts for Laurel. Right? And I didn't think about a layout beforehand, but let's just put these together, and I can stamp them like this, just right where I want them. Here's a little star, and we'll do a little heart. I'll hold on to the heart. We'll do the heart later. All right. Can't get that to stick back on. All right. Okay. So I placed it where I want it on my paper. Okay. And then you bring the door of the Misty over. And then it sticks to the acrylic door, right? So when I bring it back, it's gonna go right exactly where I wanted it. And when you get new photopolymer stamps, you just kind of want to rub them just to get some of the debris, the oils from manufacturing. You just want to condition it because sometimes when a stamp is brand new, it won't work. And there are different ways, and I am pretty sure I always go this way. I don't know why, but see, the numbers are this way. And I guess this is like how you're supposed to do it. Like if you're right-handed, I am right-handed, but I always close it this way. And then you just ink the image, give it a push. There is another tool. It's called on G to K Designs, and I don't know where it is, but it's hard when it's sticky. In the wintertime, you have long sleeves and you can just, and I actually got a perfect image, so I don't have to go back. There are stamp cleaners. I'll use a water wipe and I just wipe it off. Right. Cover up this. Let's put this away, and I'll just, while I'm at it, I'll get my sentiment out. I'm going to make just like a one layer card. And I just lost the heart. Oh my goodness. And let's take this out. Let's put another piece in because I'll make like maybe a little tag. Donuts look yummy. Hey Liz, how are you, my friend? All right. I could use colors, but I stopped using a lot of colored stamps just because of room, space, money, right? There's only so many things you can have. The tool looks like a table hockey handle. Yes, it does. Are you familiar with Gina Kay? She had a viewer. She had problems with her hands, and she had a viewer that made her this tool. I don't know why that's sticking. That's okay. I keep it close to me. Here it is. Okay, so I made my own. This is the top of a candle, right? And this is just like those little felt cushions that you put under furniture to keep your floor from scratching, right? And so, you just rub this over here and it makes life so easy. Less pressure on your hands. Oh, but you can buy them. You can use, some people use the dry erase, an eraser or foam eraser. And this kit happened to come with, this is a tri-blend Spectrum Noir markers. These are relatively new, a year or 2 years old, and they have 3 shades that coordinate together. And I love these, but I'm not ready space-wise to start collecting these. But these are great value because, like, I started buying Copic markers. They're alcohol markers. They're really, they're wonderful. These are artist grade markers and the things that you can do with these markers for shading, it's amazing. I am an amateur. I am not the best color. I usually stick to 2 colors, but there are artists that blend and use the whole spectrum of colors. And I love my alcohol markers. And I actually ended up getting rid of all. I had the Stampin' Up! Kit of the watercolor markers, and I had to get rid of them because they all dried up. And I had the reinkers, but I did not want to. So see, I'm going through my markers, and I only have like shades, like 2 in the color family of the shades. So I'm gonna just start coloring the frosting, and I'll do this first one in pink, and they say, you start with the darker when you blend these. There are so many channels and tutorials all over the internet that can give you tutorials on how to color. I'm basic at coloring. I'm just going around the edge, and then I'm going around the outside of the sprinkles because they might have a shadow. All right, and then I'm going to blend with the lighter shade. And then I have this gel, a glaze. It's kind of like a glue. It could be a glue or a glaze that makes them glossy. Are you really? Oh, Shauna, that does not surprise me one bit. That does not surprise me one bit. Well, we need to have you do a segment in coloring and using. I've been watching, I probably watched you on YouTube coloring. Have you used these spectrums, the tri-blends? Oh my gosh, I'm kind of embarrassed that she's like Copic certified and here I am like totally botching this. Right? So the whole, like, I can't even explain the whole the color families and everything. And so like I have some grays that I shadow with. It is a pretty pink and it has a name, but it's one, I can't even see it. It's 8P4 maybe. Hey Jen, hello. You finished your live and you came on. That's so sweet. I am coloring some donuts. So what I do, because I don't have all the markers, I'll take like a light, and that's not the one I wanted, like something neutral just to go over. And I don't know, it just kind of, you don't teach classes anymore because you don't see contrast like you used to, but you do have a few coloring videos on my channel. I will be watching them, because it's always good to learn. That's why I like small. So this is called warm gray, and a lot of times I'll use this for a little bit of a shadow when I don't have all the colors. And it takes a minute to dry, and then the more you go over it, the more color shows up. It gets darker and deeper. Oh, thank you. And I've got this dark brown here. And those are my sprinkles, right? And I also have, oh goodness, I have water there. That's not my favorite one. All right. This is my favorite white gel. Jelly Roll number 10. I'm going to test it. Okay. And I use these to make a highlight where I think there should be a highlight, kind of making it, a little 3D-ish, right? Kind of cartoony. I don't know if I'm happy with it, but you could always color it. But you winged it and loved the second craft. All right, I am going to catch that replay. I'm going to catch that replay. I host an event on Facebook, and it was Jen's night. All right, I'm going to try the gray, that little warm gray first, so I get some shadow. Just around the areas where I think, there's all rules about lights and shadows and where they should go. But I don't know. I think when you're making a card for someone, I don't think it matters. I mean, unless, you know, I color with the crayon. There's the jimmies right here. We got jimmies. I'm not. Yes, I love the jelly rolls. All right, good. We're good on time too. There we go. I'm just going to put some shadow on it. And I always open the wrong end. I don't know, this one looks like it should be chocolate, but you know, I only have one shade of chocolate. Well, it's not true. I have different shades of brown in the Spectrum Noirs, but those are unreliable at times. So let's try. Let's see what I can do. There are some artists that I am just in awe of. I don't know, maybe I should get my blender pen out. I'm called Jimmy's until watching some lives. You're on the West Coast. Yeah, and not everybody on the East Coast. I think it's like a Jersey, it's a Jersey thing because I live in New York. I grew up in Jersey, and in New York they don't call them Jimmy's. It's a it's like a Jersey, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania kind of thing. They're called Jimmy's because that's the name of the company that makes the sprinkles. And we call them Jimmy's. I didn't know that until I was grown up and my parents had an ice cream shop and they had a box of sprinkles and Jimmy's was right on the box. Jersey and Philly calls them Jimmy's. Yeah, I grew up calling them Jimmy's. It's a brand. Yeah, it's a brand. I mean, I'm sure all sprinkles are created equal. I mean, really, how different can you make the Jimmy's, the sprinkles? In Brooklyn, you call them Jimmy's? All right. Yeah, up here, they don't call them Jimmy's. They call them sprinkles. Yeah, I'm looking for colors that'll darken. There we go. That gray kind of darkened up that chocolate. Is it looking like? When you moved Virginia, they looked at me crazy that you called them Jimmy's. Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. We moved, I used to live in Long Island, and from Long Island we moved to Indiana, and they say all kinds of things different. You know, like we called, you know, soda is soda. All different kinds of soda. They call it pop. I didn't know what pop was. It's soda pop. All right, I'm really liking how this chocolate turned out. All right, Laurel, we're going to have to go for donuts tomorrow. She brought these little cheese danishes to work today. Can you see that? I don't know if you could see that. Like, see, practice. This one I was kind of nervous, but this one I think I did a good job on. Oh, I think I need to go over with the light pink just to kind of blend it a little bit. But this pink is like so bright. Maybe I should have like colored the pigs. love that. Okay. And they look so good. All right, I'm just going to make, these aren't jimmies or sprinkles. I don't know what these are. These are just little red candies. All right, and then what we need, because things should not be floating in the air, and let's, Christina Warner. Shauna, do you know Christina Warner? She is an amazing Copic coloring artist. We can all go for donuts. I'll stop by Dunkin' on the way in. I was talking about lunchtime. We're going for ice cream at lunchtime. You don't have the same lunch as us. All right, I'll stop and get donuts. But you know, it is Laurel's birthday week. And I'm just giving this a little bit of, you know, so it doesn't look like it's floating, just a little bit of, just a hint of color behind it, just to kind of make it pop a little bit, just to give it some dimension. And you know, so funny, it was like, I got so much stuff out because, like Sean, I was going to emboss and show you, I love Christina Warner. I was going to show you some fun embossing techniques. But if anybody is interested and wants to do it with me, we can, the girls always say they want to get together and craft. We can make cards. I can bring all my stuff and we can make some cards. And we could do, I wanted to emboss. You miss Dunkin', you don't have one in Washington anymore? Wait, in the whole state? No Dunkin'? Oh my gosh. Is that a thing? I've never been into a Krispy Kreme that they have down south. So I've never had one fresh. We don't have any up here. And then I'm going to do something with this, but I'm going to do it after because you have to wait for it to dry. So let me just do a little bit something fun here just to make this pop a little bit. I'm just going to go around the words just a little tiny bit just to give them a little bit of hint of dimension. And then I got to use my Jelly Roll pen. Oh my goodness, how cute! No Dunkin' in all of Washington. That's crazy. Look at that. Okay, so I'm really happy about this one. This one, not so much. I might have to remake the whole card. Oh. And I'm just going to use, I have a whole bunch of dies and stuff. I don't have them out. I just wanted to go simple tonight just to show you that, like, if you want to get started, you really don't need a lot of gadgets and toys and bells and whistles. No Cracker Barrel. Okay, so do you know that I've never been to a Cracker Barrel? I've never eaten a Cracker, and we do have one. Okay, I'm just cutting the sentiment out. And definitely go watch Shauna's replay for for her embossing tips and what she did. It is so beautiful and so cool. So, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna do embossing because she did it. It's good. I know we'll have to. All right, so I need a new blade because you see how that kind of frayed a little bit, but that's okay because I have sandpaper, and you just kind of sand the edge a little bit like that. And I like to use a liquid glue. It gives you wiggle room. But you know what? I'm going to change my mind. I am going to change my mind, and I am going to use, I just got foam mounting tape. This is from Dollar Tree. You can use the big rolls. I like this. It holds really, really well. So I'm going to use this to give my card some dimension. But like I was saying, the liquid glue gives you wiggle room to move the piece of paper, because sometimes when you use tape, you're stuck. It's hard to move. It'll rip the paper if you take it off. But if you use just a little bit of the liquid glue, you have wiggle room to play. Here we go. Right, and I'm just I'm cheating here. I'm not measuring and cutting. So what I'm going to do, I place this on here, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around it, right? Instead of measuring and cutting with the cutting board there. I'm just I'm going old school because, you know, there was a time when I didn't have all the tools. And now that gives that a little bit of dimension. See that? It kind of pops up. And that's going to go right there. Right? And, oh, I need this. So let's make it on pink. 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. I am going to cut it in half. And this will give me an A2 size card. It will fit in an envelope. You can mail it. Right? And then let's cut a little bit off of this because this now is the same size as this, but we want a little border, right? And you can go all out and you can layer this. You love Waffle House. No Waffle House. No Waffle House up here. I think Waffle House is south, right? If I'm not mistaken. And I'm cutting about 1/4 inch, right? Is that a 1/4 inch? 1/4 inch, which will give me an 1/8 inch border around it. And you can layer these, but you can just make one so simple. Okay. Look at how cute that is, right? All right, let's glue that on there. And the more you practice, the more you learn, and the more you can make these just, you know, pieces of art. If you watch Christy, I'm sure she's going to do a whole bunch of mixed media on hers. Use her stamps. She might be stamping on the clay, right? That's fun to do too. There's so many ways that you can use stamps. I actually happen to have some clay over here. I could do that. There we go. Right? liquid glue. And you just kind of want to place it someplace, you know, where you think it looks good. There are design rules, you know, but who's counting, right? Do you think Laurel's going to say to me, oh no, the design is wrong? Okay, so I am going to grab, because I can't get to my Stampin' Up! Ink pads. I can't turn it right now because it's in a corner. I have it on a stand, but I'm going to use these. These don't stamp very well. These inks. I find that these distress inks are good for shading, blending. And I don't have my foam. I don't know what I did with my foam mat. Here, I'll just use this. And I've used these, and you know, and they give you like a soft, they don't give you like a hard, strong image. And now what I'm doing is I'm just making a background with all the images from the stamp set. Right? I'm just getting colors that I think will match, that go with this. You have a Waffle House 45. Yeah, Waffle House is south. I love them too. And every time I go south, I always have the grits. Always have the grits. Someday we should do a thing on distress inks and how to use them. Right? And oh, there's a little tiny double heart. See, and I'm making my own little background. I don't need designer paper. I really don't use designer paper that often in my card making. I have a hard time with it. It overwhelms me a little bit using designer paper on the cards. I think that's why I have trouble with mixed media. I always think it's too much. And like just a sweet little card. And I can make so many of these. Now, thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. I always like to show how you could just do something really simply and have something really pretty, and you know, like there, just as simple as that. And there is another thing. So this is one of my favorite things. This is called Glossy Accents. I don't know if you can see it there. I put it on here and it makes this actually glossy. Ah, perfect. That's awesome. Oh, you're my kind of gal, Shauna. You are my kind of gal. You know, I mostly like the cards. Sometimes I'll make a video. They're for me. So I made, I don't even know where it went. I love three-dimensional cards. I like cards that move, cards the interactive cards. Those are my favorites. I made a 3D cup of lemonade the other day. And where did I put it? I was going to give it to somebody. I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. Okay. I made this the other day. See that up close? Do you see that? I put glitter for lemonade, and These are the kind of cards that I love. I love making interactive cards. Oh, Shauna, I wish you didn't live in Washington. All right, so I'm applying this, and I'm not taking the tip off the paper and going back because it causes bubbles. Okay, and this is going to take a little while to dry, so hopefully by Saturday with this weather it will dry, and I'm going to show you in just a sec what this does. I love using this at Christmas time on tags and cards. Okay, there we go. Can you see that? How cool is that? That is like my favorite. I love that. And it goes on, it looks a little bit milky, but it dries absolutely clear. Look at that. Right? How cool. And it'll be shiny. Right? And then, so like, I'll put paper in, I usually put like a white piece in here for the sentiment. I'll put another sentiment on there. We can hang out online. Oh my gosh, look what I did. I opened up. Oh my goodness. The frosting got away. Here we go. I can clean it up fast. Here we go. I have to let it sit this way. I can't pick it up. But we can. We're going to have to like FaceTime or something. Look at that. I just love, 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 love this. You'd buy it? I'll make you one for your birthday. When's your birthday? Yeah, I got my, oh, it could probably use some glitter too, right? Like we could sprinkle some glitter on there. Let's see. My favorite glitter, is this still open? My favorite glitter is Stampin' Up. I don't have it handy. The Diamond Dust from Stampin' Up. Look at that. What did I do here? Okay, so see what happens? I think my hand was wet and it transferred on there. That's the Distress inks. I find if they get wet or the humidity even affects them, they smear and spread. So that's why I don't like to use them to stamp on paper. They don't give you a good crisp edge, and they're really more for blending. They're not really for artwork. All right, let's see. But now Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry their Diamond Dust anymore. Is that what it was called? I'm just taking a tiny little bit. And I'm just sprinkling off. Yeah, I'm like so nervous. There we go. So I had stamped the little circle here, but do you see what happened? That's because my arm touched it, or my hand. I must have touched it and it smudged. It smudges easily. They are water reactive, you know, and it's so funny. I watch a lot of crafters that use it and they have no idea, and I'm like, no, you have to seal it. Good thing Tim Holtz does make this right here, a distress glaze that you can put it over your project and it protects it. Especially when you're doing big projects like envelopes and you're going to send into the mail and you don't know the weather. You put that on there and it's like a sealant for it, and it preserves the ink. And my time is up, so I just want to say good night. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Let's go over to Christy's page. Let's see what she does with stamps. Have a good night. Thank you so much for being here. And for anybody that needs to hear this, you are not alone and you matter. Thank you so much. Good night, and I'll see you next